So I travel by plane quite a lot, and it's no wonder that, throughout the years, dozens of questions have accumulated in my little brain. For example, what are the best shoes to wear at the airport security screening to not be asked to take them off? Or are those scanners you have to go through harmful to your health? So one day I just planted myself in front of my laptop and started to search the internet for airport answers and useful travel tips. And so, here we go. Number 1. You know how it sometimes goes? You come to the security checkpoint, and suddenly it turns out you have something prohibited to take on board in your carry-on. But don't worry, all the things seized during the pre-flight inspection can be stored at the airport for as long as 3 months. On top of that, you have an opportunity to mail them to any address inside the country. Things taken away by security can also get sold at special auctions and are delivered worldwide. Number 2. You shouldn't be wary of airport scanners. They don't harm your health. Otherwise, airport employees wouldn't be able to stay near them every day without special clothing to cover up that third arm they've grown. Not really. Number 3. As for the dose of radiation you get during the flight itself, it's even smaller than the one you get in your daily life. But if your plane flies into a thundercloud, well, that's a different matter. In this case, everyone on board receives as much radiation as they do during certain types of X-rays. Number 4. If you have some powder in your baggage, be it some baby formula, flour, or instant drinks, keep it in its original packaging. Otherwise, security may get suspicious and confiscate your only hope of waking up fast, also known as instant coffee. Number 5. To prevent the person who's sitting in front of you on the plane from reclining their seat and spilling your coffee on your new pair of jeans, use special clips. Usually, you can find them on your meal tray. Number 6. At some airports, you can buy drinking water right after you pass the security check. And that's cool, because, come on, have you seen the prices on the water in duty-free? But there are airports in Canada and the US where they let you bring along a bottle that's empty or filled with ice. Then you can find a water fountain located after the security check and fill your bottle there. Number 7. If you're flying with a low-cost airline where they don't feed you, the nerve. Take a cup of instant noodles and ask a flight attendant to add some boiling water. Voila! You aren't hungry anymore. Number 8. If you have a long layover between flights, going to the nearest hotel to rest might not be the cheapest option. There's a much better trick. Check if the airport or airline sells 24-hour access to a VIP lounge zone. In most cases, you can have free snacks and drinks there, use the free shower cabins and rooms for a rest at a very affordable price. Number 9. If your flight is connecting, it might not be a good idea to buy liquids in duty-free at the airport of departure. In some countries, airport staff can confiscate your duty-free purchases during a transfer to the next flight. Number 10. While in the baggage claim area, you might have to pay for Wi-Fi, but in the arrival zone, it's almost always free. Number 11. When buying something in duty-free, pay in dollars or euros because, paradoxically, goods cost more in local currency. Number 12. If you're in the middle of a bad cold but you absolutely have to fly, take a painkiller before the plane takes off and lands. Otherwise, your ears will hurt really bad due to the pressure drops in the cabin. Number 13. Avoid carrying spray deodorants or shaving cream in your carry-on baggage. Both of these things tend to explode mid-flight and therefore aren't allowed on board the plane. A much better idea is to stick deodorants. No pun intended. Who am I kidding? Of course I intended it. Number 14. You can't keep power banks in your checked baggage. And if you want to bring one on board, its capacity shouldn't be more than 20,000 mAh or milliamp hour. Besides, you shouldn't use them during the flight since they tend to catch fire. Uh-oh. Number 15. If you travel with a companion, pack your checked baggage in such a way that you'd have all the necessities for both of you should one of your suitcases get lost. Also, when you think of it, it's always a good idea to have a clean pair of socks and a pair of extra underwear in your carry-on. Number 16. When going on a trip, instead of taking the whole perfume bottle, take a tester. Usually it's enough for a 2-week trip. In most shops, they give you a tester of your favorite perfume as a free gift. Number 17. And the next cool trick will help you if you need some change to pay for storage services, a cart, or a bus ticket, but you don't have any coins. Find a vending machine that gives change, insert a bill into it, and then press Refund. The chances are high that you'll get your money back in small change. Number 18. If you have a brand new, unopened bottle of nail polish in your carry-on, it's okay. But if you've already used it, put it in your checked luggage. By the way, you don't need to check in a soft nail file, but if the thing is metal, better tuck it in your checked suitcase. Number 19. Seemingly innocent things like plants, seeds, and some types of foods may be prohibited if you're flying to Australia or other particular islands, even in your checked luggage. Number 20. In big international airports, you can find baby food, prepaid SIM cards, diapers, hygiene products, and even phone chargers and vending machines. As an additional bonus, all these necessities won't cost you a fortune. 21. If you've ever traveled by plane, you've probably seen those long, terrifying bathroom lines. Good news! You're more likely to find unoccupied toilets in the baggage claim area, near customs, next to big cafes, and in waiting lounges. In short, when the need arises, run for any zone that's located further from the main corridors and halls. Number 22. In multi-terminal airports, search for underground passageways connecting terminals that most people might not know about. For example, at Frankfurt Airport in Germany, there's a walking tunnel between Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 that's mostly used by employees, since passengers are simply unaware of its existence. 23. While packing for a long flight, remember to put a couple of tennis balls in your carry-on. If you roll your feet on them during the flight, your legs and feet won't swell up. 24. Are you a frequent flyer? Then why don't you have a space blanket yet? It's light, thin, inexpensive, and can help you out in case of an emergency. But what's more, it'll warm you up on board the plane. You can use its parts as shoe insulation, or you can wrap baby bottles in it, and they'll stay warm much longer. 25. Have you ever experienced this frustrating situation? You're trying to check in online, but the airline site just won't work. In this case, open the site in a private window. In most cases, it'll solve the problem. 26. Ever wondered why business class passengers are always seated in the front of the plane? Yup, to be closer to the exit. But if you haven't saved enough for a business class ticket, think of the fact that, statistically, the safest seats are in the tail of the aircraft. 27. Before the trip, study the airport where you're going to spend a lot of time. You might be surprised by the variety of entertainment some airports offer. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to spend transfer time in the cinema, swimming pool, or a video game zone. 28. If you're traveling through several time zones, try to do more physical activity the day before. What's the connection, you might ask? The thing is that with your body exhausted, you'll fall asleep more easily in a new place, which, in turn, will help you adjust to an unusual climate and time zone faster. 29. If you're wearing footwear with a soft, thin sole or sneakers, you won't be asked to take them off at a security checkpoint in most airports. But if your shoes have a solid sole or high heels, make sure your socks don't have holes in them. You'll have to remove such footwear. 30. If there are lots of empty seats on a plane, and you have the airline's bonus card, you can ask the flight attendants to move you to business class. Surprisingly, in most cases, you won't even have to pay for the upgrade. By the way, you can get this card at the airport right before your flight. 31. If, during a connecting flight, your first flight gets delayed, you can call the airline's hotline straight away and ask them to reserve a seat for you on the next flight. 32. You can still pay for your onboard purchases with your bank card, even if there's no internet on the plane. In this case, the money will be withdrawn as soon as you land. 33. if you arrive at the airport of your destination at night. You can save some money by sleeping in a special capsule and checking into your hotel the next day. Otherwise, you'll have to overpay for a night taxi in just a couple of hours, rather than a whole day in the hotel. Smart, huh? So, do you know any other tips that can make your air travel more comfortable? Then let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go taking off just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out. All you have to do is pick the left or right video, click on it, and enjoy. Stay on the bright side of life.